Hello students, we will now continue with light refraction. Yesterday we studied the different types of refractions, examples of refractions. Okay, so we continue with the lesson. Refraction by spherical lenses. Okay, now we have studied spherical mirrors, but these are spherical lenses. Now what is a lens? Let us see what is a lens. A transparent material bound by two surfaces, of which one or both surfaces are spherical, forms a lens. So just see, bound by two surfaces. Now you can see a lens over here. This dark color, gray color is a lens. Okay, you see, of which one or two, both surfaces are spherical. Now here you see MN, the surface on the left side as well as the surface on the right side are curved. Okay, so this forms a lens. These are curved outward, so these are convex. So this surface is also convex and the surface is also convex, whereas here you see this is concave and this is also concave. See, it can be that only one side it is concave and other side it is plane. Even that is possible for a lens. Okay, so this is how the lens look like. Now here you see where two surfaces are curved outward, this is a convex surface, so it is called as a convex lens. Okay, see, they are bulging outward. One more thing, you see where M point is there, it is pointed there, it is thin over there, whereas in the center it is broad. This is for convex lens. Now we see concave lens. Concave lens, see, two concave surfaces are put together, one behind the other, and this gives rise to a concave lens. Okay, and here also you can see it is just the opposite of convex. Here at the edges it is broad and in the center it is thinner. Okay, so let us study them one by one. This means that a lens is bound by at least one spherical surface. Okay, so at least one spherical surface has to be there. In such lenses, the other surface would be plane. It depends. Okay, it can be plane, if it cannot be plane. Okay, it is depending on the requirement, how we want the lens. Alright, and one more thing, it is a transparent, means we can see through it. Okay, from one side we can see and we can see what is there on the other side of the lens. Okay, now let us study convex lens. A lens may have two spherical surfaces bulging outward. Such a lens is called double convex lens. It is simply called a convex lens. See, here you see a figure. Here you see the surface is bulging out. Your left side as well as right side. So this is a double convex lens, or we simply call it as convex lens. Okay, it is thicker at the middle as compared to edges. See, in the middle here it is thick and at the edges it is pointed. Convex lens converges light rays as shown in figure. Converge means what? Light is falling from one side. Now you know it is a transparent lens. So light is falling from one side, and when we see through the other side, we will see that these rays of light, they come and meet in one single point. So this is called as convergence. When they meet in one single point, converge means come together. Okay, so hence convex lens is also called as converging lens because it converges. Okay, then concave lenses. Similarly, a double concave lens is bounded by two spherical surfaces curved inward. You see, these spherical surfaces are curved inside. It is thicker at the edges than at the middle. Here it is thicker, here and here it is thicker, whereas here it is thinner. Okay, such lenses diverge light rays as shown in figure. Diverge light rays coming here and here it is going away from the lens. Okay, you see this is called as divergence. This we have studied in mirrors also. Such lenses diverge light rays as shown in figure. Such lenses are called diverging lenses. A double concave lens is simply a concave lens. So we simply call it as a concave lens. So once more, this is a convex lens, this is a concave lens. It is thicker in the middle, it is thinner in the middle. It is pointed at the edges where it is broad at the edges. This converges the light, this diverges the light. Okay, so you can have a question like write difference between concave lens and convex lens. Okay children, please keep that in mind. Okay, now we move on to the next part, that is center of curvature. Okay, now see, a lens, either a concave lens or a convex lens, has two spherical surfaces, isn't it? See, this is a convex lens. It is having two spheres, C1 and C2, isn't it? These are two circles whose part makes here a convex lens. Now similarly here, concave also, you see, two surfaces make a concave lens. Just see how it is made. Okay, each of these surfaces form a part of sphere. So everyone is forming a part of sphere here also and there also. Okay, so this is a sphere, C1 C2, C1 C2 is a sphere. The center of these spheres are called center of curvature of lens. So the center of these spheres, here C1 C2 in convex and C1 C2 in concave, these are called as center of curvature of the lenses. Now there are two centers, so we have to name them twice. Like one will become C1, other one will become C2. The center of curvature of lens is usually represented by the letter C. Can you see here? C, C. It is represented by the letter capital C. Now, since there are two centers of curvature, we may represent them as C1 and C2. Okay, the one on the left side we write it as C1 and one on the right side we call it as C2. Okay. Then there are some more parts which we have seen in mirrors also. Principal axis, you have studied that principal axis. It is an imaginary straight line passing through the center of curvature of lens, is called as its principal axis. See here, C1, you see C1 C2, here C2 is written, here C1 is written, and here one line is passing, imaginary line. You see it is marked, this line is marked as principal axis. Down also you see in the figure where concave lens is shown, here you see a imaginary line which is passing through C and P. What is P? P is pole for mirrors, but these are lenses, but still P will mean the center of that curved surface. Okay, center of, this is the curved surface and its center. Same here, this is the curved surface and this is the center. Okay, then next, the central point of a lens is its optical center. It is usually represented by the letter O. Now center point of lens, we are talking of the lens now, the entire lens, its center is called as optical center, denoted by the letter O. Here also you see O, here also you see O. Then a ray of light through the optical center of a lens passes without suffering any deviation. If any light passes through this O, any ray of light passes through it, this O, then it does not diverge or converge, it will pass straight. Okay, so that is optical center. Then aperture. Aperture, last time also we have seen, the effective diameter of the circular outline of a spherical lens is called its aperture. Okay, the diameter of this is called as aperture. We shall confine our discussion in this chapter to such lenses whose optical center is much less. It is much less than the radius of curvature. So we are talking of very small lenses. Such lenses are called thin lenses or with a small aperture. Okay, those lenses we are going to study. Okay, next part, that is focal principal focus. Okay, let us see. Several rays of light parallel to principal axis are falling on a convex lens. So several rays of light are falling here. You see on a convex. This is a convex lens. So these rays after refraction form the lens. After refraction from the lens are converging to a point on principal axis. Converging, I told you, converging means coming together. See, these rays of light are passing through this particular convex lens and they are converging, that is meeting in one point, okay, on the principal axis. This is the principal axis, middle one, which is passing through O and C. So this point of principal axis is called principal focus of the lens of convex lenses. See, so this point where they converge will be called as principal focus. Alright. Now several rays of light parallel to the principal axis are fallen on concave mirror. Same way for concave. These rays after refraction from the lens are appearing to diverge from a point on the principal axis. They diverge. These points, see, these rays are going away from the mirror. Okay, they are not focusing in one point. But if you see on the other side, they focus. Opposite side. Okay, so this point of on the principal axis is called as principal of focus of the concave lens. Letter capital F is usually used to represent principal focus. There also we have seen in mirrors also same. However, a lens has two principal foci. Now here it will have two, because if the ray is passing from left side, principal focus will be on the right side for convex lenses. Whereas if the ray of light comes from right side, then principal focus will be on the left side. So from both the sides it is possible, because it is a transparent medium. They are represented by F1 and F2. So since both sides it is there, you can see in this last figure, we have to represent them as F1 and F2. The distance of the principal focus from the optical center of a lens is called its focal length. Okay, these are represented by F1 and F2, and the distance of principal focus from the optical center of the lens is called as focal length. So from O we measure the distance till F, and that distance becomes focal length. Letter F is used to represent focal length. Okay, so it is represented by small f. But when the point we have to represent, we represent it by capital F. The rules for image formation of lenses by using ray diagram. There are here also rules. There in mirrors we had 4 rules, but here in lenses we have only 3 rules. Let's see what they are. First one, a ray of light from the object parallel to the principal axis after refraction from a convex lens passes through the principal focus on the other side of the lens. Now here one side and other side, because it is a transparent medium, light will go on, means it will pass through that particular medium. That is why from one side light will pass, on the other side it will refract. Okay, so you are seeing it is refracting and it is passing through principal focus for A figure, that is a convex, and B figure, that is concave. Okay, so here you see, here in the B figure, ray of light parallel to principal axis, it diverges but passes through focus on the same side. Okay, in case of concave, the ray appears to diverge from principal focus located on the other side of the lens. So it is diverging from this other side, but on the same side it is passing through focus. Okay, this is first rule. Second is, a ray of light passes through a principal focus after refraction from a convex lens will emerge parallel to principal axis, opposite of what we have studied just now. If the ray of light passing through focus enters the lens, then after refraction it will go parallel. Same way here, it is passing through focus, okay, and after refraction it goes parallel. A ray of light appears to meet at the principal focus of a concave lens after refraction will emerge parallel to the principal axis as shown in the figure. This is the second rule. Third, a ray of light passes through the optical center of a lens will emerge without any deviation. This is illustrated in both the figures. See, anything which is passing through O is optical center. Without any deviation, it will straight go on passing. Okay, so this is the third rule. Alright, now let's start with ray diagrams. This is the first ray diagram. Okay, now what we do one by one we will study. There are 6 ray diagrams. This is the first one. Object is at infinity. Now always remember here, where is the object? Object is always kept on the left side. Sign conventions, if you remember, we have studied during mirrors. So where is the object? Always on the left side. And what are the points here? You see focus points F1 and 2F1. Okay, so whatever points, focus points are there on left side, they are named as F1 and 2F1. On the right side they are named as F2 and 2F2. Okay, and 2F2 is also a C2 and 2F1 is also a C1. C1, C2 stand for center of curvature 1, center of curvature 2. Okay, so let's see the first ray diagram. See, what is the position of object? Object is kept on left side. Where it is at infinity, so rays will go straight. Where is the image formed? At F2, means they will converge the ray of light. Okay, what is the size here? See, highly diminished, point size. If you can see my pointer, point size, very small. And how is the nature? Real and inverted. Okay, next one, second is, now what we are bringing, slowly we are bringing the object into picture. Now before this it was at infinity, now it has come beyond 2F1, means little beyond 2F1. This is the object AB. Okay, so one ray going parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through focus. This is one. Second ray passing through the optical center. Wherever they meet, there we get the image A dash B dash. And where is this image? Between F2 and 2F2. How is this image? Diminished, means small as compared to object. Okay, and what is the nature? It is real and it is inverted. Next is, now what we did before this, it was beyond 2F1. Now we bring it closer to the lens, that is at 2F1. Now here when we bring one ray parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through focus, you can see that first ray. Second ray passing through the optical center. Okay, so just we get another object over here, A dash. Wherever they meet, A dash, B dash, we get. This is what now? This is the image. And where it is? It is at 2F2. And what is the size? It is the same size as that of the object. Object and image are of the same size. It is real and it is inverted. Next one. Now we still bring it further close to the lens, and now it is in between F1 and 2F1. Okay, so one ray parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through focus, another ray passing through the optical center. Wherever they meet, we get the image. Okay, and you see image is quite big now. Okay, so where is the image? First of all, it is beyond 2F1. Now as the object is coming closer, image is going far away from the lens. So just if you see all the ray diagrams, you will notice that here it is at A dash, B dash, and it is big, enlarged. How is the size? Enlarged, and it is again real and inverted. Okay, it is beyond 2F2. Next is when the image is at F1. Again, one ray parallel to the principal axis, after reflection passes through focus. Second ray passes through optical center. Now image is not seen only, but this definitely will meet somewhere. That means the image is formed at infinity, somewhere very far. Okay, so image will be at infinity. And how will be the image? It will be enlarged, highly enlarged, means very big. Okay, and it will be again real and inverted. Then last ray diagram here, you see when the object is between O and F1, optical center and F1. Okay, then one ray parallel to principal axis, after reflection passes through focus. Second ray passes through optical center. Now if you see these two lines, they do not seem to meet on this side, right side. If you go back there, a dotted line you will see, and you will see that the object is formed beyond 2F1 on the same side of the lens. Where the image object was, same side the image is formed. And how it is? It is enlarged, big in size. But it is now virtual and direct. It is straight, virtual, imaginary and direct. Okay, so these are the ray diagrams. Depending on this, you have a table in your textbook. Okay, when the position is at infinity, image is at f2, then diminished, quantified, real and inverted. Each ray diagram you can compare with this, and depending on that is your table. Okay, just you can go through with comparison with the ray diagrams. Now image formation by concave lenses. Now just see this, previously we studied image formation by convex lenses. Now we study image formation of concave lenses. Only two images are formed. First, when the object is at infinity, they diverge the ray of light. So image is formed at focus, and again it is diminished and point size, virtual and erect. Why virtual? Because it is on the same side where the object is. Second is when the object is between infinity and optical center of the lens. Okay, so somewhere between infinity and optical center, here one ray goes parallel and diverges, second ray passes through optical center. So wherever they meet, we get the image there. It is again on the same side. It is small in size but not point size, and again it is virtual and erect, and depending on that is this table drawn over here. Okay.